This demo is designed for the user to be able to go in and update company information. I'm going to click on ABC Consolidated here. And when I do, a couple of things happen. We get this blue menu that appears down here, horizontal menu, and we're able to go into this area here and do our setup information. Now, understand that most of this is going to be done for you, or will have already been done for you by us and your implementation manager. But I just want to show you how it works, just so if you ever need to go in and edit or change anything, you have the ability to do that. All right, so the worksite setup, we've got different locations that we can create or edit, workers' comp codes, various departments and supervisors. The areas that you're most likely to need to edit, of course, are departments and supervisors, because you may add a department or you may change a supervisor, items like that, which is what you'll want to be able to edit. Voluntary setup just shows you all the voluntary plans that your company is offering to your employees. Each one has a plan setup area, eligibility class, and coverage tier setup. The core eligibility, which I will go in and show you, is where we create our eligibility classes. You can have an unlimited number of eligibility classes as long as they're PPACA compliant. So there's no discrimination by salary, rate, or anything like that. Benefit type, we would just select which benefit type, and then the contribution type, which is, of course, is important because it's either going to be percent based or it's going to be a fixed amount based, all right? Or in some cases, defined contribution plan. Okay. Down here we have the waiting periods, whether they're 30 days or 60 days or whatever, as well as whether domestic partners are eligible to be covered under the class. So that's our eligibility class setup. Payroll rules apply to all companies, whether or not we're doing your payroll, okay? And there's specific reasons for this. I mean, we're going to be integrating or uploading your third-party payroll file no matter what. But the payroll, for the payroll class name, we can make it anything really. We'll select the work site for that class, the start of the payroll period. The main reason that we have to get a payroll rule set up for you, even if you're using another payroll provider, is to get the frequency in. All right, so whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, or what have you, that will affect the enrollment area, because obviously we need to show the correct deduction from the employee's check, and that's based on whether or not the deduction is weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, whatever you might have selected. Okay, and then compensation type, of course. If there are any rate differentials, and then additional types of compensation, tips, bonus, reimbursements, etc. Right. And then start day and end day of each pay period, which for weekly and bi-weekly, it's going to ask you for the days of the week. If you select semi-monthly, then it's going to ask you for the first payday and the second payday of the period. Core tier setup is simply employee only, employee plus one, employee plus family, employee plus spouse. So I won't go into that cover area there. Core plan setup, I will show you. We would select the carrier and the plan name. And we have a field here called company plan name, which is a convenience field, really. It's convenience for the employer. Sometimes plan names or even common plan names are just alphanumeric codes, whereas a company plan name could be something more descriptive. In this case, maybe we would call it ABC Blue Shield HMO. Plan type we would select, and that's everything from HMO to several fund or level funded plan. We are a TPA, so we do deal with a lot of those. Our group or coverage number, start dates, end dates. We rate each plan that goes into the system. The reason is because, as you will see in the employee enrollment video, there is a benefit survey which asks a number of demographic, health, and related questions. And based on the answers to those questions and the rate that our plan gets, a plan may be recommended to the employee. Okay, now the employee will still see all the plans offered to that eligibility class. However, he or she will see highlighted in green a plan that is being recommended to them by the system based on the algorithm that's run. Penalty B plan designation, very important. Obviously, we're dealing with compliance issues when it comes to the ACA, and we need to designate a plan to be our penalty B plan. So whether we're offering 3 plans, let's say we're offering an elite plan as well as a MEC plan, we still are going to have that penalty B plan that we're going to offer to all employees that meets the PPACA requirements. Okay, if this is that plan, we're going to designate it as such. Optional fields, some are required by carriers for our EDI exports, so we sometimes have to get those: subgroup, class, variation code, etc. Down here we have the contributions, whether they're pre-tax and after-tax. And then one really cool feature that we have is the ability to upload documents. Typically they're PDFs. These documents appear in the enrollment area. So if the employee is doing a self-enrollment, they have access to those documents or brochures. Sometimes they help the call center people too. If the employee asks a very detailed question, the call center representative can refer to those documents. Okay, so very helpful. All right, assigning classes is simply where we will basically drag and drop a plan into a created eligibility class. So if we've created an eligibility class, say medical hourly, we would drag and drop the Blue Cross plan or a UHC plan into that area. And I will show you that really quick, just because, not that you'll ever have to do it, but just because the technology is kind of cool. All right, so let's say I want to move the ABC PPO plan here. I would just click on it, remove it, and then I realize I made a mistake. I can just drag and drop it back into the system or into the box. All right, so let's move down here now so we can see the fields that were populated when I click on ABC. We can see some of them are required, some are not, depending on the services that we're performing for you. If we're doing things like filing your EEO-1, if you're required to file that, then certain fields like DMV number, SIC code do go on those forms. Although I believe DMV number is optional. Down here we have the Hour Guard functionality, probably one of the most important parts of our system. The Hour Guard functionality basically measures your look-back period, and this area accomplishes 2 things. Number one, any monitored employee who works over 25 hours, which is the notification period, in a week, they work over 25 hours in a week, the designated HR representative is going to get an email, okay, letting them know that. But what it also does is it generates a real-time report that will show the average number of hours each monitored employee is working per week during this given look-back period, okay, which is in this case is set to 6 months. So very important there. In the other report video, you'll see that the report does other things as well, such as shows you who's enrolled, who's waived, who's had a COBRA event, and then who has also become benefit eligible as a result of now averaging over 30 hours a week. Okay, so that's an important video to look at. Down here, more information, our open enrollment date, whether or not a 125 plan is being offered, what type of 125 plan, is it a premium only plan, is it an FSA plan, what's the waiting period method, is it to the first or to the day, large group or small group, if there's an HSA or an HRA, we administer both, domestic partner eligibility, COBRA administration, which we also do. We do give you the option of doing it self or doing it with a third party. There's no extra charge for it, so most companies opt to just have us do it. And then your toll-free call center number. Okay, so every company gets its own toll-free call center number. Down here, basic HR information. You can have multiple people receive the notifications. You just separate their their email addresses by a comma, and that's something that you could self-serve. So, if you ever wanted to go in and add somebody to receive messages, you'd just be able to go in there and add their email address simply by typing it in. Union employees, this affects the payroll class area. I would ask you certain questions regarding the union about potential union deductions, fees, COPE fees, things like that. All right, and a logo upload. And finally, the payroll processing area. Are you a payroll client? And if you are a payroll client, do you want to allow client administration access or company administration access to the payroll, actual creation of payroll? All right, now your client or your company administrators will always be able to print checks, okay? But by default, they cannot create the payroll that is only done by a group administrator. And whether they earn sick pay or not, depending on the state, and then of course whether you're an active client. All right, so let me scroll back up to the top, and I want to show you the employee dashboard, or the company dashboard. Every company has a dashboard. Over on the left-hand side, you can see the administration area. We can do a bulk email here to your employees. Okay, this one's separated into full-time or part-time. We could also separate those by payroll classes if you wanted us to, or eligibility classes. Section 125 setup, 125 acknowledgement statements. That's where we would create the lingo that is going to appear on your benefit election form. Health savings account creation, HRA account creation, performance reviews. And these performance reviews are customizable, so you create your own questions and you can even weight them differently. Corrective action area, generating corrective action forms and reports. Documents and archives, it's where you store your corporate documents. It's where we also upload, say, 941s and other tax forms after the filing of those forms. You're able to get the live form generated from the system dynamically too, but after we actually do a filing, we upload that static form to your documented archive section. Other forms can be uploaded there as well, plan documents and so forth. Then here we have shared documents, which are forms and documents that you want to share with all the employees of your company. So it could be, like I said, a plan summary could be uploaded there. Those plan summaries often get uploaded to the enrollment area as well, but a plan document plan summary is definitely one of the documents that you want to share with your with all your employees. A handbook would be another document that you want to share with all your employees. That can be uploaded there as well. Right? Items such as leave requests. This is where your HR department will go in and approve or deny leave requests. Position rate and salary history, injury logs, background checks, and even a message board to where you can enter a message and when the employees log in, they can go immediately to their message board and see what your message for the day or week might be. ACA Compliance Center. These are generally these are actual reports that I cover in the report video. But here you can see the look back report, the penalty B report, the 1094 and 1095, the EEO1, and the Form 5500s along with their schedules. Payroll Center, which is covered in the payroll video, but you can get an idea here of all the payroll data that's in the employer dashboard. Legal updates. Well, the legal updates are the federal and state posters that we send out. And when we get a new client, one of the first things we do is we send them out the collage, the laminated collage of federal and state posters that are required to be displayed. And then we also send them out via email where they can click on here and go get it, the updates throughout the year. And finally, policies and handbooks. This is fully editable. You can upload these to the system in the shared documents area, like if you already have one, or you can create one here. Okay, and you can edit it here. So here's different departments. Close it. Select whichever area you want to edit or create, and then you can always click on the complete handbook area and we'll upload the PDF of all the fields you just created and entered, or all the sections that you just entered. Okay, to the middle section here, we see the company information. And here we see under these tabs, we're going to see the products that are being offered. So we can see that the Blue Shield PPO is being offered. And we can see that we have the one enrollment here that I did in the demo employee and enrollment video. And down here we would have voluntary products and supplemental products as well. And this is a great place to be able to see, all the products that are being offered by the company. Whether or not anybody's enrolled in them really isn't the issue. It just shows you the products that are being offered. Okay, well that about wraps up this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope it's useful, and we look forward to working with you.